All right, so tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. I know you guys are normally used to sitting there watching me tinker with something, but tonight we're going to be doing a review of HelloFresh. I'm going to set up the camera with a nice overhead view. Probably not the best in the world because I have really cheap equipment, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. And yeah, I know, COVID hair, don't care. So I'm going to go ahead, set this up, walk you through it step by step, and we'll see if it's any good. Stay tuned. All right, so here's the recipe that we're going to be going over tonight. It is Greek chicken with lemon potatoes and garlic yogurt dip. Now, in the box, it comes with all of the lovely pre-portioned ingredients that you're supposed to use. It gives you a step-by-step instruction sheet on how to do it. One thing I will point out is I've gotten a couple of these boxes now just because I really don't want to go out and get groceries. Being kind of lazy about it. However, every time I get one of these instruction sheets, they always seem to be just kind of thrown in the top of the box and they're all crinkled and you basically have to sit them under a stack of books for like a week so that they uncrinkle and are actually kind of flat again. But, you know, things happen. So let's get started. Gonna change angles and we'll get going. Okay, so here we are. This is what you get in the box for each meal. You have your bag full of goodies and you have a pre-portioned section of, in this case, chicken. Now, let's have a look and see what's in the bag. Bag of weeds, tomato, we have some fresh parsley, not too bad. We have fresh dill, some seasoning, chicken broth concentrates. Ooh, white wine vinegar. Greek yogurt. A whole bunch of potatoes, which we're going to get started with right shortly. So, going to move this out of the way. All right, so you wash your potatoes, you bring them over, even got a clove of garlic today. One. Okay, so what it wants us to do first is to chop up the potatoes into, approximately 1-inch pieces. So we're just gonna go ahead and chop these up into approximately 1-inch pieces, and that's a lot of potatoes. I'm gonna have to use this bowl. All right, and we're gonna put them in our bowl. Yes, I know I'm probably not using the best knife techniques. I am not a trained chef, and I am using my trusty ancient Palm Restaurant chef knife. Got that, I think it was at Winners. Had pretty good luck with the Palm Restaurant cooking gear. Got a bit of it. No real problems. Pretty good at keeping an edge. This one is apparently ice hardened stainless steel. So, making all these lovely wedges and chunks. All right, so I forgot to actually preface that with the very first thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 450 degrees. I cut the chopping a little short there because I don't want to bore you to death, and also because my hood fan is ridiculously loud, and I'm really hoping it's not completely destroying the audio of this clip. So we've got our potatoes, they're all chopped up nicely. Now it wants us to use a tablespoon of oil, or double it for 4 people. We have 4 people here, we're having 4. I'm going to use Bertolli olive oil. This is the light taste. I find it really good for potatoes and things that you want to have a very neutral flavor to. So 2 tablespoons, which is approximately that. Now it also says that we need to season with salt and pepper. For potatoes, I'm kind of particular. I always like to use the sea salt. A lot of people use the pink Himalayan. It works as well, but I don't know, potatoes and sea salt always seems to go really well together. So give that a little dusting, and then we will switch, and I will dig out my organic black pepper. Normally I would grind my own, but I accidentally ordered the wrong thing from Amazon. Normally I order just their peppercorns and I grind it myself. However, this stuff works pretty good too. So we'll just give it a nice dusting. We're big pepper people around here, so we'll give that a good shot. And then we will toss this up. And I actually need a touch bit more salt. Pepper's just about perfect. There you have it. Now, once the oven gets up to 450 degrees, we're going to put these on a baking sheet. I am ridiculously, well, not really ridiculously. I just use a lot of parchment paper when it comes to doing potatoes, mostly because my baking sheets are kind of crap, and this makes sure that they don't stick. So we will toss these out onto the baking sheet, spread them around, and then we'll get them into the oven. Okay, so now that the potatoes are cooking, what we want to do now is move on to our chicken breasts. Now, we're going to open these guys up from their vacuum sealed packages here, which are, once again, I'm sure adult proof, because man, did they ever fight me. And now what it says is it wants you to pat the chicken dry with paper towels. Now, one thing I'm going to mention is this is fresh chicken. I just opened the package. I do find that a lot of their meats have a very proteiny flavor or smell, aroma to them. Now, I'm not sure if this is because maybe it was frozen before it got to me and then thawed, or what it is, but it is a little different than what you're used to. So let's go ahead, we'll pat these down and go from there. Now, what it wants us to do is take the chicken, pat it down, and then we're supposed to sprinkle it with the lemon pepper seasoning. So because I don't like to waste anything, and we're going to be seasoning with a little bit of salt and pepper as well, and it's going to be cooking on the, it says a non-stick. I don't have non-stick. I use cast iron, personal preference. But because I don't like to waste anything, I'm going to use the same container that the potatoes were in. So we're going to toss them in there. We'll wipe them down. Super slimy chicken. Really smells like protein. Okay, so one last one here. And we'll put that in there. Now I am going to get rid of the garbage and be right back. Okay, so garbage dealt with, hands washed, back. We have our chicken in the bowl that I tossed the potatoes in. So there's a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of oil left in there. I have my cast iron pan heating on the stove behind me, and it wants us to dust with lemon pepper seasoning. So we'll rip into this. In there, we toss it around and get it all nicely coated and mixed up. Okay, now we've got a nice even coating on here. These need to go on to the stove for a couple of minutes, so rather than make you watch me clump over there with my crutches, I'm going to go put this on and I will be back with you in a moment. Alright, I couldn't help myself. I apologize if this is a little bit loud over here, but that chicken just smells fantastic. Alright, so now that we have followed the directions and have our chicken nicely browned up and ready to go, I'm going to put this on another pan. Once again, I'm using my good buddy parchment paper. Oh, this smells fantastic. I wish you could smell this. Now, once everything's set up, ready to go, we're going to toss this back into the oven. It's going to take another 10 to 12 minutes. Well, no, more like 12 to 14 minutes. Let's follow the directions. Let's not go by what I'm used to. We will follow their directions, and so I'm going to toss these into the oven and be right back. Alright, so the chicken's in the oven. Now we're on to their step 3. Which, while the chicken bastes, we're supposed to zest and then juice half the lemon or do the whole lemon for 4 people. Alright, so let's get that going. Once again, I don't have fancy things, so we use what we got. Okay, so lemons are done, garlic is done. I decided to save you a little bit more pain. Wants us to chop up the fresh parsley. Roughly chop it. It's pretty good, a little sticky. I am not a big fan of that, so we're going to take a bunch of, well, it feels kind of wasteful, but that's, sorry. You know, this doesn't have nearly as much flavor as I want it to. So, we are going to take the parsley that we have, and we are going to roughly chop it up and set it off to the side so we have a nice pile there. Now, time to do the dill. I wish they could put this in something other than a plastic bag. I'm a big fan of plastic. And once again, we have some sticks that aren't really going to do us a whole lot. So let's pick out the best. Clean it up. Make sure we're getting the best flavor. Once again, personal opinion. It's mine. You don't have to like it. You might like it a different way. That is completely fine. All of this gets nicely chopped up. And there we go. Now, says I need to cut up some tomatoes into 1/4-inch pieces, so I'm going to do that and be right back because I hear my other half walking in the door. Okay, everything's chopped up. Now it wants us to make the garlic dip. So we have our lemon juice in here that we made earlier. It wants us to take half of the parsley. So we'll take roughly half of the parsley and throw it in there. Then it wants roughly half of the dill. That's close enough. Now it's asking for a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. My other half's diabetic, so I am not going to do that. I'm going to avoid that. Really, a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, not really gonna do a lot. And it's asking for a 1/4 teaspoon of the garlic. So toss that puppy in there. All good to go. And now I need to take the yogurt. Prepackaged. Apparently it is best before July 7th, 2021. It's February 1st. It's quite the shelf life. All right, now, this isn't going to cooperate with me, so I will use the attitude adjuster and we will squeeze this all out. Try not to waste anything. Okay, get that out of there, and now I need a spoon. They're over there. I'll be right back. Spoon. So we're going to mix this all together and make this dip. Smells pretty good. So that's what we're looking at. That's our garlic dip. It's almost like a tzatziki I made last week. Anyhow, okay, so now moving on. It wants us to take the vinegar, another teaspoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, so not going to happen. And 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Got to double it for 4 people. So this is for the salad. We're going to use the salad bowl. Nice clean bowl. Dump the vinegar in there first because it's what I had in my hand. We're not doing the sugar. Now, 1.5 tablespoons of oil. So about 2 tablespoons. 2.5 tablespoons. Ooh, that's almost 3 tablespoons. Wow, my math sucks today. All right, so we're gonna get about 3 tablespoons of oil in there. Now, season with salt and pepper. I have the sea salt out, so we'll sea salt it. Ground pepper. It's a good place for that. I'll just put that down there. And add tomatoes, spring mix, remaining dill, remaining parsley. All right, so parsley, dill, other than the stuff that I already got mixed in with the tomatoes, but that's not going to matter because it's all going into the same place. Whisk it together. Whisk. Okay, tomatoes, parsley is in, spring mix, if I can get into the bag, goes in next. Once again, I don't have a spoon. I'm not prepared for this. I'm going to grab a spoon, mix this up, and be right back. Alright, so potatoes are done. They look fantastic. Pulled them out of the oven, put them in the pot here. Now we're supposed to take the lemon zest, throw that in there with the potatoes, and another half tablespoon of oil. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this has got a little more oil in it than I really think it needs. And it wants us to use all of the chicken broth in there. And now toss to coat. Okay. Tossed coat, sliced chicken, divide chicken potato salad between the plates, serve with garlic dip, and squeeze over with a lemon wedge if you have any left, but we already used all of it, so that's not going to happen. Okay, give me 2 minutes here. I'm just going to plate this up and we'll have a look at it. Alright, so after about 35 minutes of your time, here's what you end up just following the directions. It smells fantastic. It looks fantastic. Yeah, well, I'm going to call my kids down and we're going to eat. So hopefully this gave you an idea into the process, and have a good day.